In this week's video, I want to show you Colter Bay, a campground in the Grand Tetons at the northern end of the park. Actually, is a great place to camp if you're trying to visit Yellowstone and you can't get a campground in Yellowstone. The campground also is a part of that marina. The water levels are very low in 2022. Check out my other video if you're interested in more about the water levels in Jackson Lake. The campground itself consists of dry camping for the most part, where you have various loops that can allow generators and some loops that don't allow generators. There is also an RV park there, the full hookups. At the end of this video, I'll show that as well if you're interested in more amenities. So let's drive around and look at one of the loops to just give you a flavor for what these loops look like. There's 338 sites. Some of them have ADA sites that have electric power for those that are needing that electric power. But they consist of these loops. Some of these loops allow generators, others don't. But this gives you an idea what each of these loops look like. The sites are that you camp at are right off the loop. You just park on the side, and each site has picnic tables, fire ring, bear box in these lodge pole pines. One of the other nice things about this campground is there are trails you can hike down to Jackson Lake and to the shore. In the past, my son and I have had a lot of fun playing on the beach there, as well as taking advantage of a rope swing that used to be on the beach when the water levels were much higher a few years ago. But this year the water levels obviously are very low. The marina, awesome little place. You can rent kayaks, canoes. This year, unfortunately, the water level is just too low, so it was closed early. Colter Bay is just one of my favorite places to camp in the Tetons, and all time one of my favorite places to go, just for the wildlife that you can see not too far from camp, between the bison herd that's maybe 10 minutes away, to hanging out around Jackson Dam at night and looking for wildlife. If you get lucky, you might see some elk, and real lucky, you might see some grizzly bears hunting those elk. So the campsites are beautiful, heavily treated with lodgepole pines. You have fire rings, bear boxes, and picnic tables. One of the great things about Colter Bay is the amenities that you can walk to. Between the laundry and the showers, the general store that has everything you could possibly want, including ice cream. But they also have coffee, sandwiches, and just general groceries that you might want during your camping or your stay at Colter Bay. Being in one of the 238 camp spots that are in these dry loops, if you will, it's really not a big deal because you still have potable water and a couple dump stations at the entrance or the exit of the campground. The lines can get very, very long here depending on the day you arrive and the time you're leaving. So I highly recommend watch those lines. There's actually a third dump station in the middle of the campground that I highly recommend using to avoid these long lines if you encounter them. So we're putting in some water into the rig. As I said, there's no water at the campsites unless you use containers from the bathroom area and haul it into your rig. But there is potable water and 2 dump stations right near the entrance to the campground that you see up there with the American flag. So, as I was mentioning, I try to avoid the dump stations 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, because the line to dump your tanks or fill up your water can get ridiculously long at these 2 dump stations near the exit, as you can see here. Please check out that middle or that third dump station in the middle of the campground. You can try to avoid this if you encounter this. One of the tricks I try to use with my rig is to use the bathrooms in the campground to avoid having to dump my tanks too often. Let's take a look at one of these campground bathrooms. Bathroom has water faucets. You could actually fill up water containers to put in your rig if you want. It's a camper sink. if you're interested in using the sink and inside the bathrooms. Nice thing with the bathroom is it has flush toilets as well as electrical outlet, running water. It's pretty nice. As I mentioned earlier, there is an RV park at Colter Bay. You have to check in. This is where you see a lot of the big rigs. They do have propane. I'm sure you could fill up your tanks if needed, if you were in the dry sites. Let's take a quick walk through of some of the sites at the RV park to give you a sense of what it looks like. As I walk you along the RV park here, you can see there's trees between the individual sites, which is kind of nice, as well as each site has a picnic table. So very nice. It's got plenty of shade with these lodgepole pines. Here's actually an empty spot. As you can see, some of these sites are pull-throughs, which makes it easy to access. I would still be careful with my rig, though, with all these trees being so close that you don't get up close and personal to one of them. There is water at each of these sites, as you can see here, as well as electricity. So you have all the conveniences that you are looking for if you're looking for full hookups. That's the RV park of Colter Bay. Right next to the general store, laundry, restaurant, a little bit of walk down to the visitor center and the marina. So pretty nice location. Not bad for an RV park, I guess. If you're looking for electricity, I think is what the big thing you get if you park here. If you don't want to run water off your holding tanks. And there's still no sewer here though, so you still got to go to the exit in the dump station. There's also propane available at the entrance to the RV park, so not bad. Last part of my video here, I'm going to take you through the main drag of Colter Bay. You can see the general store here. It's got everything you would ever want in there, including sandwiches, ice cream, coffee. Also has a gift shop. You got a laundry facility, plenty of amenities for anything you might need. There's also a great restaurant that serves food, as well as a pizzeria. And then you also have the main visitor center with the rangers and the backcountry office, including the marina there that you can rent kayaks and boats from. Appreciate you watching my video. If you like this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. We do a lot of adventure, backpacking, camping, RVing on my channel here. So until our next adventure, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching.